What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade, basketball analysis. Coming to y'all with that quick analysis. We're going to talk about Scottie Barnes, a guy that has been known as a competitor, a guy that has been known to be able to guard and switch, be a switchable defender at the NBA level like he did in college, a guy that can handle the ball and be a semi playmaker. I don't think you really want the ball in his hands a lot, considering that majority of the teams that can draft him already have their ideal point guard already set, and I don't really see him being a significant contributor just because the offense is a huge question for him. And like I said about Mitchell, if you're not really scoring the basketball, teams don't really want you on the court because the game is so high tempo and high speed right now, and so many guards are scoring and or assisting on shooters that you have to be able to be a weapon on the offensive end too. Scottie Barnes is hybriding. He's a guy that has shown that he can knock down three, especially because he shot about average from three. In college, he's going to have to do that in the NBA if he wants to stay in the league long term, and especially if he wants to become more than just a role player. Getting a guy like Scottie Barnes, he understands the game, plays it the right way, a team player, a guy that tries to make the right decision, whether that's in transition or just running the offense. Like I said, I don't really see that happening as much on the NBA level because a lot of teams just use their point guards or their forwards to conduct the offense most of the time. And if Scottie Barnes isn't going to be a great isolation or scorer in general, I don't really see a team putting a lot of onus on him to be their playmaker and decision maker if he isn't going to be able to be a weapon on the offensive end. And that's the trick right now in this draft. You see a lot of guys that either have potential or a guy that got to flush the rest of their game out just because the NBA is just so loaded with talent. Just look at free agency. Just look at the guys that's out of the league this year and last year. A lot of those skill set players aren't really staying as starters unless they already have elite skill set. And I don't look at Scottie Barnes as an elite defender just because he hasn't played in the NBA. And even if you look at a guy like Okoro and those guys in last draft, they elite defense or they potential as defensive players didn't translate, or they just didn't score enough to where they was attractive enough as an asset. Even if you look at other guards that got drafted, I can name plenty. A lot of those guys either sits the bench majority of the time or they don't even play 25 minutes in a game just because they have to be able to score or even, do more. And Scottie Barnes isn't a great scorer or a great shooter at this point of his career. But, people look at his defense and his teamwork mentality that he can warrant getting minutes. I don't see it, early in his career just because a lot of these teams already have backup guards or they already just go so much point guard heavy. And what I mean by that basically is their point guard has the ball in their hands the most. And if they don't, it's because they're kicking it out or they're passing it to a big. And that means it's not going to be in Scottie Barnes' hands. So being a dual combo guard type of player really only works if you can hit the mid range or hit the three. So Scottie Barnes' career will go that way. If he's able to hit the corner threes and in the top of the key threes, he can just find himself as a starter. If he can't do that early in his career, he might get labeled or he might get a reputation around the league, and that could really hurt his career and make him just a role player or a guy that you bring off the bench. But work ethic is what it's all about. If you love the game and you really want to get somewhere in the game, you really have to work hard at what you need to accomplish. Your coaching staff and the development guys are going to know what to work on, what they're going to put you in, particularly on what they're going to do with you when they draft you or when they're building the team. And you just have to put your work in and trust that work pays off. And Scottie Barnes got this far where people feel like he plays smart enough, well enough, and has the athleticism and the length and the size to be a versatile guy. It's just his game offensively is just nowhere where it needs to be. That I don't see him being a consistent contributor on any team that drafts him unless they're going full rebuild and they're just going to play him because he's a lottery pick and they want to see what he can do and work on and try to implement it into a game. So a lot of these guys, we know what they do, we know what they can do, but a lot of these guys are just so raw in a lot of other areas that I just don't see them being able to be impact players. And most rookies don't have huge impacts. They don't play well, they don't defend well, or they're not even efficient. And I think Scottie Barnes can fall in that category easily. And we seen it with Okoro. Couldn't really make a shot, but his defense is why he was a lottery pick. And he didn't really play great defense to me for Cleveland, especially because I feel like he was undersized for the position they tried to make him play. And I can see Scottie Barnes being a little smarter and understanding the game a little bit better than Okoro and maybe have a better situation to where he can play and succeed in a certain role. That's the best I can see from him. But if he has a chance, I would definitely try to start working on a lot of stuff off the dribble and definitely off the bounce if you really want to become a guy that can be a point guard slash guard that can bring up the ball, make passes, make plays, but also can hit spot up shots while also being able to handle the ball a little bit, make quick passes, or even just be able to make a quick decision when you get the ball. And that's all NBA teams really want you to do if you want to have a significant role on the playoff or decent team and be a starter. And Scottie Barnes shows those characteristics: good assist numbers in college for his position, good rebound numbers for his position, and also showing that he can do small little things that can help his team win, and that's always a positive. You look at all the things that a player brings to the table and all things that you need him to do for your team. Scottie Barnes will be willing to do that, and he just has to see it, through with that organization. But to me, I don't really see him being a significant impact player as a rookie. I really don't. He looks like he has a mature game that can help a team win now. I just don't see it right now just because a lot of these teams already have backup guards. Like I said, I don't see him outplaying NBA players at this point of his career unless that spot opens up or they go on a rebuild and they want him to do a little bit more. Teams like Golden State, teams like OKC are the teams that people want him to go to. I feel like OKC got a lot of guys that can't really score already. I don't see why they would want to add more. And even with Golden State, they really try to go with defense heavy lineups. So he can help with that, and he can also help because Steph loves to play off the ball, and so does Draymond. But his quick decision making and his scoring will have to be, you know, at a decent level for him to get significant playing time, as they already have a buttload of guards already and wings. And if he wants to get into that rotation, he's going to have to play better than them, or they're going to have to let guys go. And he will be on a rookie contract, a contract that's not bad. But can you really expect him to be a difference maker as a rookie when the whole game and the whole field will be new, and he's going to have to learn on the fly while still trying to grow and develop at the same time, and he's going to have to fix that jump shot because you're definitely going to need that playing in Golden State as they love having floor spacing around Steph. And we seen when he didn't have enough space and they struggled to win games consistently, when they gave him a little bit more room is when they start hitting their stride. And we already know that he won't really need to play make as much as they will have Steph creating or Draymond. And then they will have Clay and they have Wiggins to do the bulk of the handling. So Barnes will be more of a support type of player for this team and maybe any other team like Sacramento that's around there. Just getting a guy that can come in and do small things for your team and be on a decent contract and also be attractive, in the future if he can really grow and develop his offensive game within 2 to 3 years. And then his contract will be up and he will be restricted, and then you'll be able to bring him in on a decent salary. And if he does achieve a little bit more or really becomes a part of your rotation, you're not going to be spending a buttload of money on him anyway, because I don't really see Scottie Barnes as a superstar. I see him more as a good support player. and you need those guys at the end of the day. And I feel like that's what you're getting with Kuminga, that's what you're getting with Mitchell, that's what you're getting with Barnes, and that's what you're getting with a lot of these picks from 7 all the way to 15. So, can't really go wrong. You want to go with the guy that proven the most or shown the most, and most of these guys are going to be role players or rotation players anyway. So getting one like Scottie Barnes, you're not going to be mad at, you're not going to be tripping at, especially because he has the ability to guard multiple positions. And if he can really, develop that at the NBA level, plus get that three ball going and hit a little jump shot floater or get to the basket every once in a while, he may be an ideal fit for another team, or he might find a perfect role on the right team, and he'll be fine. So don't got really too much of problems with him. Don't really see bust potential, but I don't really see all-star, superstar potential. But then again, this is about what you're going to get at that position. And if you get Scottie Barnes, you ain't going to be tripping. You just got to bring him along, let him grow, let him develop, let him get some scars and some scratches, and just live with the result that he'll learn from it, he'll grow from it, he'll strive to be better, and he can be a great piece for your team in the future. That's what you want in the draft, somebody that can make you better. And Scottie Barnes potentially can do it, so you'll live with it. Other than that, be back with another video on Tuesday. The finals almost over. See y'all tomorrow.